Lurch?
Yeah, buddy.
I understand you've had a rough morning.
Yeah, it's
you're only an hour late.
Yeah,
to the studio, but that happens.
Not normal for me these days. I'm much better at being on time, but in my younger years, I get sidetracked by something. I'm always squirreling around doing something last minute. So this morning I had a credit card issue. My number got compromised. Not uncommon, right? It happens to everybody.
Yes. These days, fraud is alive and well.
It's alive and well. So one of the reasons was I switched over to an Apple card was the security that the Apple card gives you. You got a virtual card number to use online. If you use your Apple Pay on your phone, it's got a separate number, and your credit card has a separate number. So you got 3 different numbers. The actual physical card itself doesn't even have a number on it, so somebody can take a picture of it and all that. So went with that. But
it's titanium.
And it's titanium. Yeah,
it's badass.
You can tap it on things, and people are impressed with your titanium card.
Yes,
and you get cash back.
Right.
So good card all in all. So it's not a card issue. The issue is that I had an old man moment,
At least you're being honest.
I'm being honest.
I appreciate this.
I don't have a lot of games on my cell phone. I just have a couple old, they may even have come on the phone. I don't know. It's like Solitaire. A couple different versions of Solitaire. That's it.
No, I don't think any games come on. But yes, you loaded them at some time.
I loaded them probably on my iPhone 5.
Probably when you were a captain with the State Patrol, you spent most of your day playing solitaire on your phone.
I mean,
you can say that now because you're retired.
Before social media, I needed to do something while I was pooping. So I sit there and play
before
solitaire.
Talk.
Yeah, now I can flip through social media. Anywho, so recently I spent some time in the hospital with my mom. She was sick. And when you sit there for hours, and you got to do something, right? So I was played enough solitaire. I thought, I've been seeing this little new version of Tetris on social media. It's like just a freshened up version of the game Tetris. I thought, well, that'll work. So I look it up, went into the App Store and everything, and went to download it. And then when I opened it, it redirected me and took me to a place to put my credit card in. And I thought, well, that's weird, but I haven't downloaded a game in a long time. There's probably in-app purchases. You probably have to have a card on file. So I put my card on file, and then I get alert these 2 purchases went through right after.
That's the nice thing about Apple credit card, dude, is on your iPhone, it does the drop down. Every purchase my daughter makes, and it's just nice. Yeah.
And leading up to putting my card number in, it didn't say anywhere that you had to pay a certain amount for the game or a monthly fee, but two charges came through quick. For $12.99.
So you got the banner?
$19.99. I'm like, yeah.
2 banners right away. Yeah.
I didn't authorize those, so I declined those 2 purchases, delete the app or delete the game, screw you, Tetris, or whatever. I'm not doing this. I thought all was well. Well, then yesterday morning, looking at my wallet, a couple more purchases went through. One for $10.99, 3 actually, $10.99, $12.99.
Yeah.
This is not me. I didn't authorize this shit. And so I've been dealing with, and then what made me late was I tried to request a new virtual number and it wasn't working. So I was on with Apple Support, still working on it actually right now as we podcast. But
gotcha.
Just an old man moment. If you see something that asks you to put in your credit card number in, and it seems not valid, don't do it,
dude. Good for you for being honest, though.
Yeah.
Good for you for being honest, dude. Yeah, that's something. I'm not here to bash on you, Lurch, but I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna bash on you. That's something. That's a mother or father moment.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're like, you what? No. Hey, we've all been burned before, though. I can't even hack on you, dude, because we've all done stuff like that in the past. So, all right. Very good. Thanks, everyone. Applause for Lurch for being honest. Thank you. Lurch?
Yeah.
Do you like, I know, I'm assuming, I'm assuming you like boobs.
Oh, who doesn't?
Mm-hmm. The old fun bags.
Oh yeah. Every time I see one, I just get excited. It takes you back to being a kid.
It does.
Are
you a motorboater?
At times.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
When the time's right. You can't just motorboat every time. You got to kind of read the room and see what the old lady's interested in.
Have you ever went in and you got your motorboat going ahead of time because you're going in, and you get a face full of sweat?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, it's happened.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, well, it's happened to everybody.
Where are you going with this?
Or you get, dude, ladies get a little sweaty. Ladies get a little sweaty, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose.
You're trying to be so politically useful. Yes, they do. Women do poop. I know Wikipedia says they don't. They do poop and they do get sweaty. Well, guess what? You know what? We got a lot of lady listeners, and we're always focusing on the man parts, the fresh balls.
Right.
Now, ladies, the dude wipes are just as good for the ladies. The dude wipes, we've talked about them in the past, guys. That's right. lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. After you take a poo, that's right. Get all freshened up. Now,
I was wondering where you're going with this. It seemed like a little...
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to talk about sweaty boobs.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We're done. Let's move on.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. We got more here. So, ladies, we're always focusing on guys, but we know we have a lot of lady listeners, and we appreciate each lady listener, especially for putting up with us and all of our man parts talk. But we appreciate you, and we know and support lady riders, of course, out there on the road, and love meeting you and running into you and all that kind of stuff. Now, we know that boobs get sweaty. We know that lady parts in general get sweaty. Just like men, they can get odorous. It's not your fault. Long day of riding bikes, whatever. You're going to sweat. That's life. Well, ladies, we've got a product just for you. It's called Fresh Breasts. That's right. Fresh Breasts. And you can get it at any time at lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-breasts. That's /fresh-breasts with an S. No additional cost to you. We do get a small commission if you click through it and make a purchase. Now, it's a cream. It's kind of like fresh balls. It's fresh brush. And it's not just for breasts. That's the beautiful part. That's just the name of it. Let's just go ahead and pull it up.
I thought you were full of shit, and I just found it. Okay.
I am not. When have I ever been full of shit, dude?
I'm like, what is this?
No, it's legit.
Oh, my God.
Now, I do want to say it's for breasts and other areas.
Oh,
what do you think those other areas are, Lurch?
I think it's the private areas.
Oh, yes.
Dude, you can get a
Singles?
tube of fresh breasts and a tube of fresh balls.
Exactly, together.
Yeah.
You see the singles there too?
I see the singles.
So I made an affiliate link.
Okay.
It is a legit link, just like all of our legit links. lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-breasts. Now, this is a cream kind of, and it dries. It's like fresh balls. Now, the areas, in and around the nether region of the lady, I could see you putting this on. I don't know if it's intervaginal approved. I'm not reading that here, but you can put it on your inner thighs.
That's what this says. Yeah, inner thighs.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I just coat it up on the old inner thighs. That's right. Coat it up in between the breasts so you don't get the sweat.
The under boob.
Your old man is just going to frickin' motorboat you like you've never been motorboated before.
This was what happens when I run late.
It's true. You
were sitting there with time on your hands. I know you did. You were sitting there. You're like, yeah, I wonder if there's something for the ladies.
We've been talking about the ladies and coming up with something, and we've just been slacking. So I used my time wisely.
Oh, good for you, man.
Looking at lady products. Now, here's the deal. I am going to test this. I don't have breasts, and I don't have a vag. But I'm going to get a tube of it and see if the old lady will entertain me and put a little on the inner thighs. I might even put it on for her. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, it's got no talc, no aluminum, no parabens, and no added fragrance.
Just like fresh balls.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly,
I wonder if it
I think it's pretty much the same. They just, but, you know what I mean? I mean, it's cream. They may have just packaged it. Nonetheless, I would get the breasts for your breast and your inner vag region, or your outer vag region.
Outer, please.
Yeah, you might. I don't know if it's approved for inner, but I might.
It says right here, external use only.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, disclaimer, do not put it in the vag. There's very specific things that can go, within. So I'm going to put a little of this on the old lady.
Okay.
And I'm going to apply it. And, Lurch, I might even apply it to your old lady.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-breasts. Remember, it's not just for your breasts. It's for those other intimate areas too. Where else could they put it? Is this going too long?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's time to move on.
All right. Sticker Mule, guys. Sticker Mule. That's right. We've been using this company for a long time, and we liked them so much. We love the quality, super fast turnaround, super fast shipping. Every sticker you get from Law Abiding Biker Media within the last 8 years, I think, at least, or 7 years, is from Sticker Mule. Now, this company, we're mentioning them just because we like them so much. And they reached out to us, and in turn of promoting them, which I had no problem doing, just like I say, we actually used them, but they saw that we had a podcast. They reached out, said, hey, you want to run some ads for us? We're like, heck yeah, because I can definitely recommend your products. No problem. And if we get some stickers out of it, very cool. High quality, fast turnaround, decals, labels, stickers, printing online, order in 60 seconds. They'll turn your designs and illustrations into custom stickers. We have had that. Or if obviously they can help you with the design, but we actually have hire out design and then just send it to them. But magnets, buttons, labels, and packaging. That's right. Packaging, tape, and all that kind of stuff, guys. In days, they offer free online proofs, free worldwide shipping, super fast turnaround. And we can definitely attest to that. We've got loads of them at the store in the packaging room because we throw stickers. We've got our Biker Revolution sticker right now and our round main law-abiding biker sticker that was redesigned a couple of years ago. But and you can get them online too if you want to purchase stickers, right? Mm-hmm. We do throw them free in boxes, so you get them free if you just order from the store. But if you just want stickers, of course, we have them reasonably priced in the Law-Abiding Biker store. Anyways, head over, check them out, stickermule.com. That's stickermule, just like it sounds, all one word, .com. And we want to thank them for being a sponsor of the Law-Abiding Biker podcast. All right, email or voicemail from Read Greg's letter is what it says.
Yeah.
So Lurch is going to, I guess, now you got to, Lurch is going to set it up for you here in a second. But this is old school, dude. This is old school. Oh, you're even. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
So I checked the mailbox down at the...
mail. Yay!
That's what Lurch does every time he goes to the mailbox.
Checked the mailbox there at the Lab store and found this envelope. It's a I don't know, 8x10. It says Airmail International on it.
It's legit.
It's from Australia. It says postage paid. So we got some airmail from Australia. It says Mr. Ryan Urlacher and Lab Crew. So I open that bad boy up, and then I find an old school just letter envelope. But what's cool about this one is it's got some wax, like old school, like Game of Thrones, put the family shield wax.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, is this Game of Thrones, bro? Wow.
And it's got GGD, so the initials here, and then it's got the Doncaster family shield here. So this letter is from
family shield, dude. This is legit. He's gonna come after us with a Valyrian steel sword, dude.
You've been watching the Game of Thrones.
Actually, I haven't. I finished it like a month and a half ago, but yeah.
So this is
Isn't that what it was? Valyrian steel?
The swords.
Yeah.
For all you nerds out there, you know what he's saying.
Yeah.
So this is from Greg Doncaster. And you can see, I mean, he melted this wax himself. There's like a little drip of it right here.
I didn't think that was still legal.
I don't. It was inside this envelope, so maybe nobody even knows.
Maybe that's why. Because I'm like, if you just do a regular letter with that wax seal, will the post office even take it anymore?
Good question. I don't know.
So he hid the regular envelope inside the big regular envelope without the wax seal.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is what you have to use when you airmail.
Maybe.
It's definitely an Australian envelope. It's got Australia stuff all over it.
Yeah.
So
it makes me want to get some wax.
Let me open this bad boy up.
Yeah. Listen to that. High-tech sound effects right there.
And look at this. He's even got his family shield on the top of his letterhead.
Where do you even get a family shield? Just get online.
You can look them up, yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, or you can go to the fair. Go to the fair, and then usually
Yeah, that's where I want. They're not give you some family show for like a completely different name, dude. That's who I want to trust is the fucking carnies, dude. Give them.
I got one at about the fair years ago.
Sorry if you're a carny, but you're probably a good carny. It's just the reputation, unfortunately.
So here's a handwritten letter from Greg in cursive. I don't even know if I could do that anymore,
dude. No,
it'd be hard.
No, I can't.
I
even signing my name in cursive is I just kind of scribble it.
Yeah,
it's cursive is a thing of it. It died.
It did.
Here's the deal. Here's why. And so we love getting off track. No, this is fun to talk about, but it is cursive. It's hard for me. I haven't read his, but a lot of cursive is kind of hard to read. The reason is I got rid of cursive. I mean, we grew up. Mm-hmm. I was a good decent cursive writer by the time we got out of high school. That was a thing. But dude, with keyboards now, I can type, and I guarantee the fastest cursive writer I can still type because I'm a fast typer. I can type like 20 times as fast as you can write. But I like it. It's old school, and the fact that he can still do it, that's legit.
Yeah, and then when I got hired by the State Patrol, they made us write in block writing.
Same here.
So
I can write block, all caps, really good. We used to do reports in law enforcement before we were kind of, when we got hired with that was like 28 years ago, we were right in the transition. We had computers in the office, like one or two.
Yeah.
And the people that knew how to use them, I switched before everyone else because I'm a tech geek and I started doing Word reports. But when I was first starting, that wasn't, we block wrote everything.
Yeah, because it's easier to read.
Right.
Cursive in general is a little more difficult, and depending on your cursive, it can be even harder. But I'll tell you what Greg writes very well in cursive.
It's freaking.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's easy to read.
It is. He's a good cursive writer.
You're looking something up. Are you ready for me to read this?
Oh, you're going to read it whenever you want. I'm always looking at screens.
Dear Ryan and the Lab crew, my name is Greg Doncaster, and I'm a loyal supporter of Lab and a former patron donator. I still purchase from your online store from time to time and use your affiliate links such as RevZilla and Zero 3D. I am writing this letter to thank you and the Lab crew because you may not know what an influence and help your podcast, YouTube videos, and documentary films are. Some time ago, I had a severe back injury, which left me incapacitated for some time. As a result, I had to cut back on all expenditures. The good news is that I have been able to recover most of my my pre-injury health, although there is a way to go yet. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. The main thing that I was able to focus on during my downtime was watching and rewatching your YouTube videos, documentary films, and listening to your podcast. Your channels are the best anywhere and deserve to be number one.
Dude, I'm blushing.
Yes,
not going to lie to you, dude.
I remembered your earliest videos on how to fold chaps and wash your bike in the early days of your iPhone podcasts. Everything you did then to what you produce now is incredible. In closing, I'd like to thank you and Ryan and the Lab crew personally for what you do for the biker community. Regards, sincerely, Greg. P.S. I served in the Royal Australian Navy, and I know where Squid gets some of his ideas from. From a sailor, and yes, I am using a fountain pen.
Oh my God, dude. Fountain pen. You know where Greg didn't go? Lawabidingbiker.com/contact.
Yeah.
And so, Greg, we appreciate it. And hopefully we're just having fun. We are not making fun of you at all. It's like legit. And it actually intrigued us. The seal, the wax, the fountain pen. Thank you for telling me that. I even appreciate that more. I can see him. I was visualizing him in a room with like rock castle walls, a dimly lit candle.
Big wooden desk.
Yes. Big wooden desk.
Thick.
Yes. With his sword.
Yeah.
With his sword. He's armed with his sword made of Valyrian steel. With his fountain pen, a dimly lit candle, and a old like mug of beer made out of a horn of some animal, a hollowed out horn.
Smoking a pipe, maybe.
Smoking a pipe. That's even better. That's even better. Animal. From some animal, a horn pipe of sorts. With a fireplace in the background, all comfy and cozy, with his fur coat because it's a little chilly. Yeah, that's what I picture when he was writing this letter. And you know what's sitting next to it all?
What?
His iPhone. Listening to a podcast from us. Yeah, very good, Greg. Thank you so much. We enjoy stuff like that. If you don't have wax and a fountain pen and a sword with Valerian steel, you can just head over to lawabidingbiker.com/contact. And of course, there's a contact form over there. You can send us an email. You can also leave a voicemail right from the speakers, from the microphone in your phone or your computer from anywhere in the world. It is all free. And we obviously, if we vet it, we will put it right here on the Law Abiding Biker podcast. So there you go. Thanks, Greg. Want to ride longer? Are you tired of a sore and achy ass? Then fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Love my butt buffer. And you know what to do if you have sweaty boobs. Anyways, all right, guys, we're going to talk about this in this episode. It's part of it, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So the FP3, the Vance and Hines Fuel Pack 3 tuner has been phased out. May it RIP. We sold the last 23 we had. Thank you for all your support. Sold them, and I put a little video out. That's why you need to make sure, guys, that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and turn on notifications, because I just randomly popped a live, announced why you might want one of the last 3 FP3s in the world that we literally had. It's weird to say that. Like, you couldn't find them anywhere. We kind of bought a bunch up. Anyways, we sold the last 23, RIP. They are done. We are moving on to the FP4, the Fuel Pack 4 from Vance and Hines. Legit tuner. We've got them in stock. We're going to break it down in here. I'm also going to do a video. You're going to see some videos coming out soon on the YouTube channel. Reference tuners in 2023. A lot of stuff has changed. But anyways, Fuel Pack 4, absolutely legit tuner. You're doing high flow intake, exhaust, mufflers. Anything you change, you're going to need to remap your EFI. And the FP4 is EPA compliant, and it's a legit tuner, guys. Better than the Screamin Eagle. And we're going to break some of that down in this episode. By far better than the Screamin Eagle tuner, which is its competitor, one of its competitors. So anyways, again, the Fuel Pack 4, get your bike tuned up, raises the rev limit on top of it. You just need to get it on there, especially even if you just do slip-on exhaust. You're changing the flow of things. You need to remap your EFI to make sure your bike is running optimally and you're getting the most performance out of it that you can. Oh yeah, once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now. See this, Lurch?
Yeah.
My main laptop. I'm on the podcast laptop, but I just updated while we were sitting here.
Okay.
Mac Sonoma is out, bro. And I am usually excited. Mac OS Sonoma's out, guys. It came out a couple days ago on the 26th. It's the 29th now of September. So I'm going to have to log in and everything, but it looks like it updated. I usually get excited, obviously, with same with iPhone stuff, updates, but this Sonoma's got some shit in it, dude. It's badass. I can't wait to dive in. Some of the things I've heard, some of the features they've added is absolutely amazing. So just thought I'd tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Got multiple things going on.
Yeah.
Now,
I have it available for mine too.
You do.
Yeah.
You have a new enough laptop. Interestingly, the podcast laptop right here that we're using,
old?
it won't. It won't support the new, because they eventually they get old enough. Which this one is like, and that's there you go. That's an Apple commercial. Like 8 years old, is still running fast as crap. Dude, running our whole podcast.
The first one you gave me was 10 years old. Before and then I think even your kids use it for another year. It was like 12 years before it finally just.
It's still out on the workbench. Yeah, finally, it's 12 years old. We finally bricked it. Mm-hmm. It's still sitting out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still sitting on the workbench, just dead. I wiped it, but yeah, dude. Yeah, that's why we use Apple here. It just works, and it works for many, many years. Anyways,
I'm running Ventura on mine.
Yeah,
my laptop
that's what we were both running until the 26. Have the option to upgrade to Sonoma, so it's got some legit features in it. Anyways, this is not a tech podcast. I can really get going down sidetracked. Isn't that weird, Lurch?
Nerd.
I am a total tech nerd, but we also run a business that is surrounded by tech, and we have to have crap. We have to have stuff that works. We don't have time to be fixing stuff. That's why it's an Apple ecosystem. We own so many Apple products around this business. All right. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history by being here, by listening. You're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
We have just one question before we get started. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Oh, yeah, there you go, guys. Ryan Urlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker Podcast, and your
high-tech redneck.
Or are we just getting started?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We got an awesome episode. The main topic today is Harley-Davidson Screamin Eagle Stage 1 upgrade, intake, exhaust, and tuner. We just got off the back. We had two, I'll get into that. But we did an install on two different bikes, and we'll break that down in a minute. Now we want to announce a new free video. We're coming out with them faster than we can announce them. Here's one of them that we came out with a while ago.
Yeah, this is Can the Indian Sport Chief Compete with Harley's Low Rider S? So take a look at that one. The link is in the show notes.
There you go. How do they get to the show notes?
You can just, you can go to the whatever episode this is. So, lawabidingbiker.com/episode number.
Well, that's great answer.
That's the easiest way.
That's a great answer.
Otherwise, you can just...
It's not necessarily the easiest, but...
You can just use you also go into your app, whenever you're watching it. If you're in our app, it's right there. If you're in Apple iTunes, you can just
swipe up. And it's all the show notes are right there with links.
And all the different podcast apps.
And they support links now, Apple Podcasts and all that. So they're just hot links, and you can just click through to stuff, anything we mention. Mm-hmm. And if you want our app and you just want to use our free app, lawabidingbiker.com/app, APP. It'll take you over there, Android, iOS, iPhone, any phone you can imagine, plus our apps over there. However you want to listen, we don't care. That's your choice. Apple Podcasts is the best experience in my opinion, but our app in the App Store is our best, is what I meant. And secondly, Apple Podcasts is what I would say. But yeah, and you can leave a voicemail right from in our app, right from your phone. You can call. There's a phone number right there. You can just hit it, leave a message, whatever. It just makes it really, really easy. All right. Now, we love our sponsors, our regular sponsors. Now, these are also, these folks are a reason we're coming to you after 10 years and still going stronger than ever. And the reason we're going stronger than ever is because these folks and you know who you are, have allowed us financially to keep going and always given us a solid foundation. We want to thank the following people. They are sponsors of this episode, some of our newest patron members to sign up.
We'd like to thank Frank Lehman of Atosa. How do you say that?
Atacosa.
There
Atascosa.
You go. Atascosa, Texas. Zachary Burnett of Mustang, Oklahoma, and West Warwick of Rhode Island.
I think you totally screwed that up.
West Warwick.
You forgot to put the name. You just put the address. Yeah, you put the city.
Hold on. I'll come back to that one.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, we screwed that up. Probably whoever's listening, hey, that's me. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. That's right. You pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap and stay within your budget. Now, there are benefits for signing up, such as t-shirts and stickers. You get access to the private Facebook group, which is a troll-free zone. It literally is nothing but bikers helping and connecting and riding with other bikers. It is absolutely the number one online biker community around. I'm convinced of that. You get access to live video broadcasts and chat. You get podcasts early. You're going to get this one in the back end of your patron accounts way before everybody else gets it. We're always uploading them immediately into the back end of your patron accounts. You get access to live video broadcasts and chat. I think I mentioned that. Access to our premium videos upon request for you top tier patrons. And of course, access to those ride meetup and events. Not only the yearly ride meetup and event that we host, but all the other amazing ride and meetup events that patron members themselves are putting together right in the private Facebook group. Looks like Lurch found the actual name.
Yeah, Robert Booth. Sorry about that. Of West Warwick, Rhode Island.
There you go. We appreciate the continued support, guys. We love y'all. and all of you long-standing. Those are our newest ones there, but we've got all of our long-standing patron members. In these difficult financial times that we're going through, and inflation and craziness, now we need your support more than ever to keep a solid foundation, so we can just keep adding things and continue to put out the content that we're putting out, because it is a lot of time and effort. All right. Okay. Here's the dealio. We're going to dive in. So in the past, we've obviously, if you don't know, if you're new to the podcast, obviously I run Law Abiding Biker Media, but also I am still a full-time police motorcycle officer and instructor. All right, right. A Harley-Davidson, our agency runs Harley-Davidson Police Electras, one of the most, still the number one police motorcycle in the United States anyways. I know there's a lot of BMWs and stuff, and that's fine. They're good bikes too. I will just tell you that definitely Harley still has the market, especially depending on where you go in the country. But anyways, Harley Electra Glides, my particular agency in the past, we had to keep them pretty much stock. We had asked for like stage 1 upgrades, and I'd love to do a cam. Some agencies do. Another agency about an hour and a half or an hour and 15 away from us got new 2023 Harley Electras, and they were actually allowed to install a stage 2 kit with a cam. They didn't do it, but they had the dealership do it, and those bikes sound really good. And you all know one of the first things everybody does to their Harley, or you should, is, I could say a lot of things. Suspension, brake pedal. Let's just stick to this. A stage 1. Change out your air intake, get some new mufflers, get some new headers, especially if you can get them catless or make them catless. Then you can.
If you live in a place where you can do such thing. I'm just throwing that caveat out there.
Well, you can't do it anywhere. What do you mean?
I'm just throwing the caveat out
there.
That if you're going to remove your catalytic converters from your bike, make sure you do it in a place where you're allowed to do it.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do it in any of the states in the United States, technically speaking, but nobody really, there's not a federal agency that kicks your door in because you've removed your cats from your pipes. Now, there are some cities that do emissions, doesn't the West Side, they do emissions tests? So we don't have those over here, but technically speaking, I'm not, I didn't want to get in a rabbit trail there, but you brought it up. So it's technically speaking, I think that you're not supposed to technically, I think shops, I think it's more like the shops, they crack down on the shops for doing it and stuff like that. So
at this point, the EPA doesn't have enough people to come.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Get every individual person.
Just, how do
Hello, we need to test your headers.
Here, hang on. They knock on your door. EPA search warrant. We heard you removed your cats from your pipes. Dude, we're coming in. We're looking for the porcelain. Isn't it porcelain and catalytic conversion?
I don't know what the hell's in
it
there.
is. That's why people steal it, right?
There is minerals in there that they
no, look
recycle.
it up. It's porcelain.
Okay, what?
I could be wrong, but
cat.
Yeah, he's gonna.
That makes it valuable. See, somebody else has already Googled this.
Google machine.
It's the metals. There's platinum, palladium, and rhodium.
Okay. Maybe it was porcelain like in the mufflers. I think that's what's, because it used to rattle loose. Yeah, I actually fixed a couple cars back in
the old glass packs and stuff.
No, how do you spell porcelain?
Shit if I know.
I could be totally...
Ceramic, ceramic. I think you're making shit up.
No, I either making it up or I'm just freaking out of my gourd. I don't remember. Ceramic coating exhaust systems. I don't know. Anyways.
Anywho.
Exhaust header porcelain. There is porcelain used for a lot of exhaust headers, coating, and maybe that's, I don't know. Porcelain was steel
on your Model T.
Yeah, on your Model T. There you go. Anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked. Disregard that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All right.
Yeah, I think porcelain would get hot, and then if you cool it too quick, it's going to break and come out. So I don't think it'd be very.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very useful.
Well, we can keep going. We can researching if you want. Now that you brought it up,
the metals in the catalytic converter get hot, and then as the unspent gases go through it, it reburns it and makes cleaner exhaust. Essentially.
What are you talking about?
Just a catalytic converter.
Oh, catalytic converter. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, so one of the first, we completely got sidetracked there. And one of the first
Intake,
things
exhaust.
you do is intake, exhaust,
Stage
your
one.
pipes, and your headers. We're going to explain what stage one is because we might have new listeners.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
So that would be a stage one. A stage two would be all that and a cam. And then you can go stage three and stage four. We're not going to go there today. But yeah, I would have liked to do stage two. But anyways, we were never able to do that with our police bikes. Well, recently, things change, and we asked for at least a stage one. I went for a stage two, but they agreed to a stage one. And
Smart. Ask for the most, and then accept what you get. You're like, I think I'll get a stage one, but let me ask for stage two. You just never know.
Maybe next time it'll be a stage two, right?
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
That's right.
So I was just happy to get this. But they bought all the parts, and the cool thing is, obviously, my department realizes my expertise, I hope, since we've been doing this for so long and we've done so many of these kits, and they could save a bit of money. And so they said, hey, if we get all this stuff, would you install it? And in fact, supervisor said, hey, what will you charge for that? And I said, here's the deal. I obviously don't want to make any money off the department or anything like that. I'm not interested in that at all. And I like to help out where I can. I donate, Law Abiding Biker Media donates all of the biker grippers for our police fleet. I've done that for years. I replace them. I move them when we get different bikes. The cup holders, the guys love the cup holders, the Zero cup holders. And, and they see it on my bike and I give those. I don't ask for anything in return. I just like setting the bikes up and the guys, because I do have access to this stuff, obviously. So I told them, I said, hey, I'm not looking to make any money at all. Don't want a conflict of interest. I just pay me for my time, pay me my regular police salary, and I'll be off the road. And I'm guessing it's going to take a day and a half per bike. And I said, give me 3 days. And if we don't run into issues, obviously we can get an extra day or whatever. But that was busy, but we had 2 bikes. I have a new 2023 and we're getting it set up. The next thing after we did all this is it goes to the radio shops to get radios, and then to a third-party vendor here to get radios. And then we got to get the laptops and docks and all that installed. So that's kind of the process of the police bike. But I was super stoked. And now I will say, Lurch, I would have liked to, here's the other deal you brought up, Lurch, about, ask for stage 2 and take the stage 1. I also knew that one of the ways to sell it was all OEM parts.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's safe to a department and people that don't necessarily know a lot about bikes. And that's not a put down. It's just, obviously because we do what we do, we know way more than you could explain to them. So I just appreciate that they did it. And I knew that I said, listen, if we do it, let's just stay safe. And, these are all Harley OEM parts, Screamin Eagle exhaust. And we'll talk about the parts we put on it here in a minute.
Okay.
And, that was an easier sell than saying, hey, listen, let's do Vance and Hines this, and let's do Fuel Pack 4 and this kind of stuff. Now, personally, that's what I would do. I know a lot of you guys do Harley stuff, and that's cool. That's the beauty of having your bike. You get to do what you want with it and get the parts that you want. Honestly, I would never buy Harley exhaust or mufflers or their intake, just because I shouldn't say that. I have done just the air cleaner intake, the stage 1. So that's not completely true, but not anymore. I just did that in the past, but there's just better stuff out there, in my opinion. You get more options. It's not as expensive a lot of times. And so I just go with all the aftermarket stuff. That's how I prefer to go. But anyways, because of all that, they bought it. And so that's why, if you're wondering, we don't do a ton of, Harley this, and you got a Harley exhaust and Harley this and Harley chaps and Harley underwear and Harley, Harley whatever. We do the aftermarket stuff, but that's why we're doing and going to discuss the what we did here. Do you want to take over and explain the parts that we got? And
absolutely.
All that?
So for the intake, they went with a Screamin Eagle Ventilator air cleaner kit for the Milwaukee 8 engine. That is a very good looking intake, by the way, but it really opens it up. You got a lot more.
It is good looking intake. I can't deny that.
No, it's not. I like that it's, especially for me, with my longer legs, some of the stuff that sticks out too far on the side kind of gets in the way and my knees up against it. So this is pretty streamlined and up close to the motor. It's not like a 90-degree intake that sticks out and and is in the way. So very
could have got those. They asked me when I ordered them because I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
But they asked, what I was going to get, and I would have loved to put those on, realizing we weren't, because I think it would look cool for a police spec. People would be like, badass, But then you realize they didn't want, obviously. So, anyways,
they look cool, but depending on your height, sometimes the form fit's not the best. So. This is definitely a high flow intake, a lot more filter surface area to pull air through.
It's basically the oval filter and oval. It turned the Screamin Eagle oval intake.
Yeah, it's not even quite an oval. But it's oval
really?
like. Yeah.
Well, I think it's an oval.
Maybe technically. When I think of oval, I think of like my air cleaner, the stock.
Look at how oval that is.
Yeah, I guess I just
okay.
When I think of an oval, I think more of like what you got on stock cleaner on not your bike but my bike.
Oh,
or maybe even not mine, the older ones. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's an oval like shape and a lot more surface area to pull air through. So definitely high flow, pretty easy installation.
We're gonna be doing videos on all this stuff for you guys on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, replace the intake back and the. You put a new filter in, some new tubes for the breathers. It's not a
it's one of the easier ones.
It is, yeah. This one was pretty
intakes
easy.
That we've done.
Yeah, we've done some that are kind of, especially some of the aftermarket ones, can get a little bit tricky. This was a pretty simple bolt-on deal, and if you want to see a quick little time, what do you call that?
It's a time lapse. It's actually not all a time lapse. It's just fast video.
Yeah, you did.
It's a short.
Okay, yeah.
Some of it was a clip or two were time lapses. The rest were just pulled video. I sped them up.
In the meantime, it's out there if you want to see a cool little short. It's out there.
Instagram reel.
The full video is coming out later, but really cool, good looking part there. And can you go back to the show notes there?
Sorry, I digress, Lurch. On this particular video, you're right. All but one clip was a time lapse. Okay. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, because you saw me recording it. I was thinking of something else. What do you need? Go back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the headers and mufflers, you got when he gets back to the page there.
I got to find it. Where are you at?
Right there. Just leave right there.
I'm going to bring this up.
So
I got it up there for you.
The headers you got were the high flow exhaust system with Street Cannon Mufflers. Mm-hmm. And the headers in particular were super lightweight.
Do you know what they're made of? Did you look?
No, I haven't looked. Huge differences compared to the stock ones. I mean, it's a significant weight loss. We should have weighed them actually. But you pick up the new headers and you're like, holy shit, these things are light.
It's insanely light.
And
I wish they told just what they used. Oh, wait. See if they do.
And the thing about them is, the stock headers have the big catalytic converter in the crossover where they come 2 to 1 and then back out to 2.
Stainless steel head pipes.
Okay. I think a lot of the weight reductions probably, stainless is going to be lighter than the regular steel.
The lightest headers I've ever felt.
Yeah. And what I was saying was that the catalytic converter is also different. So on the stock headers, you got a big, huge one that's in the crossover.
Right.
And then they've got smaller, high-flow catalytic converters that are on the ends of each outlet. So you got one on the right side and one on the left side, right at the back of the header. Mm-hmm. And it's much more high-flow. So it's EPA compliant, but much more efficient and lets a lot more flow through there.
And basically, the other benefit of that, guys, if you're going to leave catalytic converters in, is it moves them all off your legs,
right?
And it moves them all the way to the rear. It would be closer to the passenger now, instead of next to the rider. So that's a huge benefit. You're not getting rid of the cats necessarily, but at least you're moving them so the heat is behind you and not right on your legs. And Lurch and I looking at these, because they put the cats and they put them there, it makes them compliant, but it clearly looks very easy. It makes it easy to remove them. If one were to decide
If
they wanted to remove.
If you're a racer and you're going to the racetrack and you need free flow mufflers.
Exactly. If you're going to just race and on track only. All right. Yeah. Quality stuff. I'm just going to say, when you get Harley stuff, it's expensive, but they're not effing around.
No.
And you get it. It's just quality built, quality welds, stainless steel. It's just amazing. The heat shields are amazing. Yeah.
And talking specifically of the heat shields, a lot of the aftermarket brands have heat shields where the hose clamp, if you will, the clamp that goes around your header and goes through the shield. A lot of that is on the aftermarket stuff is attached to the shield itself. So you get a real clean look. You don't see any screws or anything or bolts through the heat shield. Those can be kind of a pain in the ass to take on and take off, to be honest with you. These on the Harley branded ones, they had clips that the hose clamp went through around the header. You kind of snug that up, get it close to where you need. And then you had two bolts that go through the heat shield and into that clamp and mounting bracket. And it made it so easy to put on.
Yep.
And if you needed to take it off, once you get it in place, you don't have to dick around with the clamps ever again. You just take the two screws out and you can remove the heat shield. So while it's not as clean as a look, I don't mind it. It'd be very easy to service. I like that part. It was easy to put on.
Yeah. You'll definitely have to look at it in the video and see if it works for you. I agree with Lurch. It's a cleaner look without the bolts in there. I'm still trying to get used to it. On my police bike, I looked the other day and I was like, just still kind of deciding to do that. Here we go. Pro tip, because we haven't talked about this in a while, since we're talking about the clamps on mufflers. If you guys are new to the podcast or you haven't installed before, here's a huge pro tip that will save you a lot of time and frustration and headaches over the years. All of the exhausts, like Lurch says, have the standard metal hose clamps. And here's what guys do. When you're putting the heat shields on any exhaust system that comes with those hose clamps, the common mistake is to crank them down. And what happens is when your bike starts and you heat those pipes up, it expands, you're going to break them. And your heat shields are going to rattle. You're going to constantly break hose clamps. I'm only telling you this because many, many years ago, before I knew this, I went through a lot of this. Then we realized, oh yeah, heat expands pipes and it breaks the hose clamp. So literally, when you're putting heat shields on, you barely tighten. The bike runs. They're not going to rattle, just enough that they won't rattle. That gives room for expansion, and literally you will never break a hose clamp again. They just stay on. So barely snug those things down. Remember, you can always tighten a little bit if one did come just a little bit loose, but you can't untighten once they break. I guess you can't, because you're going to have to put a new one. Yeah. So there you go. There's your pro tip for the day. Moving on.
Do you want to talk about price at all? I haven't been talking about price.
Talk about whatever you want.
Going back
Did you go through all the stuff that we put on this bike? The tips and the...
Not yet.
Okay.
Going back to the price on the intake, it was $320 for the intake. The headers and the mufflers were $15.95.
Weird, because their website says $16.99.
Oh, you got $100 off or something, huh?
Well, we didn't get these. We got these prices from their website.
Oh,
I didn't get these prices from
maybe they've gone up.
Department. Yeah, look at $16.99.95, and I don't know why. Sold in store only.
Yeah, okay. Well,
inflation at its best.
$16.99. That's a good chunk of change there.
Well, you put these prices in, so I don't know where you got the prices.
Yeah, I grabbed it off of the sheet that you had made.
The Evernote?
I took it out of Evernote.
Yeah, they must have went up.
Must have been what you guys paid for.
So the prices. No, I didn't, because I didn't get those from the department, those prices. I just got links off Harley's website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then they've gone up $100 in a short amount of time.
Yeah, within the last week. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then so those Street Cannon mufflers, I would compare them to like my Vance and Hines OS 450 slip-ons. They're a 4.5-inch muffler. They're a bigger, larger round muffler. With these, you have to buy the tips separate. You
do have a plethora of decisions for tips, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's look at that, Lurch. While you're talking about that, let's see, Blunt. Let's go into the exhaust. I was trying to remember. It says down here,
the different ones you can use.
It tells you that complete look system includes exhaust, pre-tapered O2 sensor street, cannon mufflers, and matching heat shields. Somewhere in here is how, when I ordered, I found that the tips don't come with it. It gives you a part number.
Maybe details. If you open up the details tab.
Oh, yeah,
there.
maybe that's it. Yeah.
There you go.
Exhaust
sold
headers.
separately.
Where do you see it?
Tuners and muffler end caps sold separately.
Yeah. Can you give me like bottom of page, top of page?
Middle of the page.
Middle, thank you.
Right up, right there.
Right here. Yep, there. That's where I found it when I was ordering. They used to give a part number, Screamin Eagle Pro Street tuner, muffler, end caps. Let's look at what kind of, I was trying to, without getting too much in the weeds here. I remember I had some decisions, and leave it to Hardy's website. You would want to, like our store, we would link to that.
Right, just
like
click through.
End tips sold separately. And the ones that work with exhaust in our store, we would put a link for you so you could just hit the link. And seems like I had a part number, because this part number here, Lurch, is going through just to these ones.
I think you can just go up and click on end caps there.
And just
right there. Just go up a little bit.
Okay.
Up, right there. Click, and I bet you'll take you to all of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
There
Yeah. And then
go.
you can select
Yeah,
your year.
so you got all
This will give
kinds.
us a general idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, black ones like we got. You've got chrome and 2-piece. I don't know what the difference is that is. Oh, yeah. Anodized satin black. Those are kind of cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do round ones, or you can do the slash kind, guys, where they're cut at an angle. Anyways, you got a plethora of options there to get
those
the
satin ones would look cool on there.
These would
Like
look
you already
cool.
mentioned. Yeah, those
dude.
would look cool.
That would have looked
that
cool.
kinda-
I just kept them more pleasy looking.
Yeah.
But I like those satin black end caps. Are just round.
Uh-huh.
Those are tight.
So you got chrome mufflers and black tips.
Nice.
Kinda reminds me of a lot of the Reinhardt stuff.
Yeah. Good call.
You could put fishtails on there if you want.
Yeah, wow. That's actually a good, so, talking about this, Lurch, I know it's Screamin Eagle stuff, and we go with aftermarket, but honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, that's brilliant what they did. Because really, that's the only difference. Okay, size, diameter, but your only other difference of the look of a muffler is the back of it. They all look the same. And so what Hardy's done is they make one big scream literally, you could look at my twin slash rounds from Vance. You can look at anything. It's a big round tube that's chrome or black, and it doesn't change till it gets to the rear. So what Hardy's done is they make one big ass muffler, and all they're doing is giving you tips to make the muffler look the way you want it. That's actually brilliant, dude, because you don't have to manufacture like all the different. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually brilliant. I'm surprised more companies don't do that.
There are some, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, there are some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good idea, because like my twin slash rounds are all one pipe.
Yeah.
That's just the way they are, So anyways, yeah, you can get a lot of different looks. So I didn't mean to get in the weeds there, but
No,
that's what we do here. So yeah, moving on.
And so now we've updated our intake and our exhaust. And as you mentioned earlier, anytime you change intake or exhaust, you want to retune. And you also mentioned that the department wanted to go with the Harley branded stuff. So you got the HD Pro Street tuner to tune the bikes. Mm-hmm. Nice little small plug-in unit. Very, very small, actually, compared to some of the other ones. Easy. All you do is plug the bad boy in and
we'll get to all
download
that.
the app. We'll talk about the app.
Yeah.
But that you decided to go with that versus the FP4. Again, like you mentioned earlier, the department wants to stick to all HD parts.
Yes, sir. So the total for all that, before we move on to the tuner that I added up this morning, 20, and now they're $16.99, so it'll be more, but it's 20, basically 25,
$2,600,
$2,600, somewhere around there for all of the stuff. So that's a complete stage 1 kit for a Harley-Davidson. If you buy the parts, $2,600. If you do the labor yourself, me and Lurch, now we did do something else to this bike, which we're going to talk about too. At the same time, we actually added some Zero filler panel lights, and we're going to tell you why and what that's about. But all that aside, we basically figured we saved my department somewhere in the area of $2,000 labor to do 2 bikes, stage 1 kits, probably more. We're being conservative. We said 6-7 hours of labor we did lights too, so I'm kind of throwing that in there too. Add an extra hour, you're looking at how much? 150 an hour. Let's just do this. Let's just say 7 hours to be times 150. Yeah, times 2 bikes. Yeah, $2,200 plus tax. So it's a substantial amount of money. We're going to put videos on all this, and the exhaust really installs like every other exhaust we've done on the channel. So just watch those videos. We've already done stage 1 intakes on a Milwaukee 8 before that video. We're just going to do some refreshes, but this stuff's already out there. The only video that will be brand new, which I'll probably put out before any of the rest, is we've never done a complete video on a Screamin Eagle Pro Street tuner and how to tune your bike. So I'll make sure and put that one in the queue first. Other than that, you can install with our free videos on YouTube. You can already install all this stuff yourself and save all that labor yourself and have the pure satisfaction of wrenching on your own motorcycle, guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to move in. We will talk about the Zero 3D filler panel lights and why we did that in a moment. But we're going to kind of break down and dive into the Pro Street tuner.
Ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already. Get hooked up with the premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital grade. What the hell is that?
I was doing it
seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and unlike gel pads, it won't leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps dampen those darn vibrations.
Don't puncture my ass.
With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head on over to the Law-Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Yes. I was just looking at the store before the podcast, looking at orders, and I see we've got one for a butt buffer. Sell the heck out of those things.
Nice. Thank you for buying from our store, guys. Just a bootstrap company of bikers trying to help as many bikers as we can worldwide. Every purchase matters. Every customer matters to us. We are not some big, owning 3 of the largest online stores. We're just bikers, literally bikers shipping your stuff, packaging your stuff, fulfilling orders. So, you're talking to bikers and stuff that we actually use and recommend. So, like I said, every customer really, we value you very much. So, all right. I don't know how much are we going to do a separate episode just on EPA stuff, or should we? We're going to have to get into some of it here. I just saw up on here you had a separate one, or I don't know if you started that, because a lot of it's going to be covered here. I guess we could always do another episode just on that stuff, but what do you think? Well, how much we want to get deep here?
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get into it. So do you want to start, or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
All right. So, Screamin Eagle tuner versus the FP4. We're going to do some comparisons here. Let's just start off by saying the FP4, the Screamin Eagle tuner, $450, the FP4, $459. For that $9 extra, you are getting a plethora of extra options and things you can do. It's a much better user interface on the app. It's smoother. And you'll understand in a second kind of what you're getting, with the FP4 over let's just say the Screamin Eagle tuner. Here's the deal. With the Screamin Eagle tuner, you basically, let's first talk about, oh God, there's so many ways we can go. Let's do this. So the Screamin Eagle tuner, guys, you're stuck with Screamin Eagle stuff. Like, you're going to get in the app. It's not going to tune Vance and Hines stuff, theoretically. It's not going to tune Python and Roland Sands RSD. It's just, they're going to keep you're going to be stuck in the Harley ecosystem. All right. So you're going to, for the life of the bike, you're stuck. You're in with SE pipes and SE intakes. You can get different SE pipes and intakes and things, and you can tune it, but that's it. You're stuck within the Harley ecosystem forever bound yourself to that. When you could, with the FP4, do the same thing, because the FP4 absolutely tunes all the Harley-Davidson stuff, the EPA compliant stuff. All Harley stuff is EPA compliant now, as is Vance and Hines, because of all the past lawsuits that's been going on, and the EPA cracking down on these companies. It's coming to all tuner companies, all exhaust companies. This isn't, they just kind of were two of the biggest. And of course, government, what do? They go after the big boys because they see it happen to the big boys, and it trickles down to all the small guys. So with the FP4, you open yourself up not only to do everything that the Screamin Eagle does, but you're also open now to get all these different brands. So, and you can jump in anytime here. I'm trying to keep this because there's so much to it. We're going to do obviously the video I do will say all this too, but basically supported at this time. So 2014 to 2020 models are all a different category. It's really, and the tuners are different. So the FP4, you've got one for 14 to 20, and then you've got one for 23 and newer. And the reason is 21 and newer are EPA compliant tuners. The FP3 wasn't. Even the 14 to 20 now, the FP4 is still EPA compliant. They made it EPA compliant.
Part of what Harley did when they were getting in line with the EPA was to change the connector on the 21 and newer so that there may be other reasons, but essentially the FP3 and some of these other tuners would no longer fit it. Right. So when you go to the FP4, we've got two different models, one for the 14 to 20 and then one for the 21 and up.
Yep. Good call. Yeah. They're the same tuner, just, basically connector. Different connector. Yeah. And just remember, guys, when you purchase from our store or anything, even the one we bought from Hardy, the Screamin Eagle tuner, they come in boxes with sealed plastic. There's a reason for that. Even Harley's right on it. Big, huge sticker. We're going to ship those out with our store. Did you see the letter I made? Yeah. We're going to change that to FP4. Okay. We put those need to go in the tuner boxes when we ship those out. Yeah. Basically what it tells you, and just like the Hardy one, is double check your fitment that you ordered and got the right one, because the problem is neither Harley or us, once you break the seal of that plastic, we can't take it back. Nope. It is an electronic item. And trust me, Vance and Hines won't take it. We won't take it back. Nobody will. The reason is it's an electronic item and it's been compromised. And then on top of it, once you plug it into your bike, it's married to that bike and the VIN. That's all tuners, guys. It doesn't matter. There's no tuner that you can like tune a bike and then take out and tune another bike and tune another bike. Not these little consumer, not these type ones. No. So here's the deal. If you're 21 and newer, right now, EPA compliant stuff, guys, EPA compliant tuner, you're going to be able, within the FP4, you're going to be able to do Harley-Davidson stuff, and you're going to be able to do Vance and Hines stuff. With the 14 to 20, the cool thing is they still support. So like we have short shot staggered on the Dyna Lowrider S out here. I've got twin slash rounds. Both of those have been discontinued by Vance and Hines because they're making all new EPA compliant stuff. But the FP4, if you have a bike or you buy a bike with those older exhaust systems, well, the nice thing is Vance and Hines still supports those. So you can get in the app and you can tune for those specific pipes and intakes. So Vance and Hines on the older ones, it still does support it. Again, 14 and newer with the CAN bus systems, supports Vance and Hines, RSD, Python, HD stuff, Harley, obviously generic, which is cool, and Crusher. And they can always add to that as they make testing. The thing is, a lot of R&D. We talked to some techs on the phone just a couple days ago, some of our contacts at Vance and Hines, and it takes them time to get stuff in there. They're going to add stuff to the new 21 and newer within the app, but it takes a lot of money and expenses to make sure stuff's EPA compliant, and then they have to put it on the dyno. They have to run lots of tests before they can approve it as EPA compliant and then put it in the app. But that stuff's coming. Now, backing up a little bit, and again, if I'm just cut me off like you did a minute ago, if you need to. The thing about the FP3 that you wonder, the FP4 and the FP3 are exactly the same, except the FP4 is EPA compliant. And so we're going to get into cams. So basically the FP3 was opened up. It was a great unit. You could pretty much do anything with it. So like on Popeye's bike, which we don't have that video out yet. I got to edit it, but we did a cam in his bike, an S&S cam. Basically with the FP3, everything was supported and you could put pretty much any cam you wanted in. And we actually tuned his bike with a Fuel Pack 3 after we installed that cam. The nice thing was Vance and Hines support. We got a hold of them to further tune it, and they can take all your data and they would send you a map for that cam. So you could pretty much do any cam you want. With the new, what's changed is with the new EPA stuff, compliant stuff, 21 and newer, is you're not going to just be able to do any cam you want. You've got to do a EPA compliant cam. Now, currently, talking to Vance and Hines contacts is they have added. It will work with this, obviously the Harley stuff. Harley cams right now that they've added are the SC Screamin Eagle 447 and the Screamin Eagle 462 cams. And so it will work with those, and they are planning on adding more cams, and they may add aftermarket cams. The problem is it's going to take a lot of time because they have to be EPA compliant. As I just discussed, a lot of money goes into dyno stuff and whatever it is that makes stuff EPA compliant. So those are your cam options right now to use the FP4. Again, you can go search around. This is happening to all companies. DynoJet, doesn't matter. This is trickling down, guys. This is just, it's a law. And it's federal, and the federal government's going to come after these companies, and they know it, and they'll shut them down. So you can get as mad as you want, and it pisses me off too. I get it. I'm not a huge fan of the EPA. I think they're overkill, but that's just my opinion. So we can get as mad as we want. What we're trying to do is tell you that it's not as bad as you think. We're still going to be able to do some stuff. Anyways, what I'm saying is Vance and Hines FP4 will be adding stuff. And the thing is, even though, let's just tell you on the FP4, even though Python isn't in there, you could still get a close map. You could just look up, Harley-Davidson, or you can look up their Vance and Hines stuff, high flow intake and high flow exhaust, get an exhaust close. It's still going to tune it. And then you're going to program tune it. You're going to auto tune it anyways to further dial it in. So there are a few ways till they add it that you can get around it.
Yeah. So hypothetically speaking, if a guy had his stock headers and he took it to a shop and cut it open and took the cats out, now you've got headers that
must be a racer only. He's just a race bike racer.
He would have, stock headers without the cats. Well, even back then, if you looked in the FP3, those were not, that was not an option to select. You'd select the Vance and Hines power duals. You'd select something. Because I did that on my bike. Yeah. Because
my bike stock headers removed the cats and we just got something close.
Right.
And then added twin slash rounds and auto tune.
And then you auto tune it. So the truth is you can pick something close and then auto tune it if you have something other than what's listed on here.
Right.
Yeah.
Good call. Thanks for cleaning that up. So here's the other big thing that you'll want to know. This is huge information that we found out direct from multiple of our Vance and Hines contact, which we hadn't really contemplated yet because that's when we do projects like this. It forces us into things. It forces us into that. Now the FP4 guys, we're going to do a complete video on it, on how to, tune a bike. We're going to tune a bike with it. My very popular Fuel Pack 3 video has been out for a long time and it's got an ass load of views. Honestly, watch the FP3 video. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
There is a new FP4 app for the FP4 models, but it looks exactly the same. It functions exactly the same. So honestly, my FP3 video works the same if you get an FP4 to learn how to use it and tune your bike. So you can watch that video, but we are going to do a refresh. But the information that we're about to tell you is freaking mind-blowing. So stand by.
Okay. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Well, Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father and son team designed something really special that you can't find anywhere else. Yep, these guys ride so they truly understand the needs of bikers. Their Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also check out their full line of touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use a Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Head on over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. lawabidingbiker.com/store.
Amazing. The music ended right with you.
I know.
Cool? Your timing is impeccable.
I have got it down.
All right. So here's the breaking news. So there's lawsuits, we all know, that were going on. Harley-Davidson also, and I did video on it. They got a lot of views, voiding warranty. Mm-hmm. So what happened years ago, not that many years ago, is Harley-Davidson said, listen, the only tuner you can use on our bikes that will maintain the warranty is an EPA compliant tuner.
Specifically theirs.
Because that was the only EPA, then that's exactly what I'm getting at. Yeah. Okay. That was the only EPA. So I want to make sure you understand that verbiage. It didn't say you can only use the Screamin Eagle tuner. it said you had to use, and it mentioned the Screamin Eagle tuner, but it said you can only use an EPA compliant tuner. Well, lo and behold, look at us, Harley-Davidson, we have the only EPA compliant tuner. Basically, if you took your bike in and you had an FP3 attached to it, or you had flashed your bike with the FP3, it would automatically, if you just took it in for like to put mufflers on, well, they would never know. But if they had to do anything with your bike, which is a lot of stuff that they have to plug it in to their proprietary software, the Digital Technician 2 that the mechanics use, the mechanics had no choice. Once they plugged it in, it would automatically pull the ECM. It would pull that it didn't have an EPA compliant tuner, any aftermarket tuner. Bam. It would send it to the mothership. Bam. Your warranty would be voided. And there's no workarounds. The mechanics didn't like it, but there's nothing they could do. If they would tell you, if I plug this in, it's done. If you get a warranty, which is why I don't get warranties.
Yeah,
but yes.
And to clean that up a little bit, because there was two things actually going on. There was the EPA lawsuits that were going on against Harley and against Vance and Hines, but then there was also a lawsuit by owners against Harley for putting aftermarket parts on, not just whether it's EPA or not. It was just aftermarket parts, and Harley was dealerships were voiding it if you put on aftermarket exhaust, for example.
Yep, and there are still some dealerships. Hopefully they've all got the message by now. But yes, there's some screwy dealerships that are doing some screwy things.
What came out of all of that is that you can use aftermarket parts on your Harley as long as, the tuner's EPA compliant and some of this other stuff is like a couple different things all happen at once. And so, so Harley can no longer do that, void warranties for aftermarket parts.
Right. And they never could.
Yeah.
Based on the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act and all that kind of stuff.
They had to be sued and just stop doing it.
Yes, exactly. They got ahead of themselves. They were a little bit probably gun shy because they were getting their asses handed to them by the EPA, and the pendulum probably swung a little too far. But still, thanks, Lurch, for that. So they were basically voiding warranties and all that, especially for FP3 tuners or any other aftermarket tuner. Again, this is why I don't get warranties on my motorcycles, guys, is I don't even care if it's a factory warranty like some guys, and that's fine. If that's you got to do you do you, boo. Some guys are like, I'm waiting until my factory warranty's over before I tune it. Well, I'm not going to buy a $40,000 motorcycle and I will have nobody tell me what I can and can't put on it. I will tune my bikes because I know it doesn't hurt them. I will tune them. I will put pipes. I will do whatever I want. I never want to be in a position where I have to be told that I have to wait a certain time to do anything to my bike. But that's just me. You guys do you. The biggest deal is with it. Now listen closely. So we talked directly to Vance and Hines. Within Harley's warranty information is that you have to use, I already mentioned, an EPA compliant tuner. Well, the FP4 is not the FP3, and it is in line with the Screamin Eagle tuner now. So it is EPA compliant. So within Harley's own terms, the FP4 will absolutely not void your warranty now. And if you have issues with that, I would talk to your dealership first and tell them it's going to take time. And Vance and Hines said this, that it's going to take time. Dealerships aren't necessarily doing it on purpose. They don't even understand their own terms. A lot of the service writers, they'll tell you, nope, you can only use a Screamin Eagle tuner. Well, that used to be the case. They aren't aware that their own terms don't actually say that. It says an EPA compliant tuner. And Vance and Hines can prove, and it is, because they would be shut down as a company by the EPA if they made another tuner that wasn't EPA compliant. It is in their own literature. It is EPA compliant. So you absolutely can tune your bike with the Fuel Pack 4 now. You do not have to use Harley stuff. Make sure it's the Fuel Pack 4. Make sure you get it from us. You'll know it's a true FP4, and we'll take care of you. You can tune your bike, and they can plug your ECM in, and it absolutely shall not void your warranty. Vance and Hines will also, if you have a stubborn dealership, Vance and Hines has also helped customers that have had an FP4, and some dealerships have tried to void a warranty. They've called them and said, and educated. Again, don't get super mad at your dealership. I'd have a talk with them ahead of time before you put an FP4 on and say, hey, here's the deal. It's actually show them a paper with their own terms and say the FP4 Fuel Pack 4, and grab Vance and Hines literature and say it is EPA compliant. So this tuner that I'm going to put on my bike absolutely is within Harley's terms of service, and I'm going to put it on, and you're not going to void my warranty, and, you know, do this in a nice way. But as things change, again, the dealerships just think, you know, that's how it was for the last 3 years. You know, it was Screamin Eagle only, and anything that was aftermarket, they're like, shit, we have to void, or, you know, the mothership was voiding the warranty. So anyways, talk to your dealerships, talk to your service writers, give them this episode if you want, and tell them to listen to Law Abiding Biker podcast, lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode number this is, and tell them to listen, because this is all fresh information. And Vance and Hines is backing it. Obviously, the FP4, whatever they put in it from here on out will be all EPA compliant, because it's a 49 state EPA compliant, just like the Screamin Eagle tuner. California, the country of California, the dictatorship of California, and I'm so sorry for all you people that live in California. We love you. We have so many people, so many of our friends and club members that live in California. So I'm just sorry that you have to live there and deal with all this kind of stuff. But you can't even get an FP4. You can't even get a Screamin Eagle tuner. These are 49 state compliant tuners, and everybody will tell you that. So unfortunately, that sucks. Now, if you live in a different state, you can certainly, and maybe you have temporary residence or whatever, do as you please. But
we will not ship to California.
We can't ship. That's what we're going to tell you. We can't. We can ship to any other state. Did you hear me? We can ship to any other state. We just can't. If you're buy it and your address is in California, we can't ship it to California. We can get our asses handed to us as a law-abiding biker store. So we used to ship to California. We didn't necessarily know when we first started our store. And years later, we were like, oh shit, we need to get in there. Yeah, California can come after you. So we had to stop, and even the FP4. But again, we just can't ship to California. So don't put we have to cancel the order if you order and you have a California address. So I apologize.
So right at the beginning of the description, it says, this is just talking to the FP4 in particular, but all the products says, this is 49 state compliant product. It cannot be sold to California residents by law. So if you order one and we see you're from California, we're going to cancel your order. Sorry.
We don't want the greasy hair Governor Gruesome coming after us and all his hair gel. He'll come up here and headbutt us with his hair gel and poke our eyes out. I don't know. As far as California, you guys, you just need to get rid of all your Harleys and get electric vehicles, because
get some live wires.
Yeah, you're just gonna, because
those are fun. By the way,
the gas powered engine is all but dead in California, is what I hear. So I'm teasing, guys. I'm teasing. Everybody's gonna get all fired up. Yeah, there you go. Your governor. So, not that ours is much better here in Washington
not
State,
at all.
but at
He's
least
catching up.
At least we're in the 49 states that we can get tuners, guys. So, yeah, I'll be really pissed the day if that happens. All right, Lurch, so there you go. I think that covered most of it. We're going to get into tuning. So here's the deal. Like the FP4, the Screamin Eagle, again, it's pretty much a process we're going to show you in our video. Of course, just like the FP3, you basically plug it in. It's literally fits in the palm of my hand. It's a little tiny tuner. The FP4 is a little bit bigger, but it's thinner. It's more of a brick candy bar style. Very, very thin candy bar. Very small candy bar, but it's kind of rectangle and thin. The Screamin Eagle tuner is shorter but fatter. But they both plug into the same place underneath your left side panel. You plug them in. Basically, the app walks you through it. You Bluetooth connect, and then you basically pick a canned map with either. So in this case, we picked the high flow intake. We picked our exhaust, right? Mm-hmm. Picked our exhaust and the Screamin Eagle stuff, and bam. And then there's a process where you basically turn the bike off and the run kill switch for 20 seconds. It walks you through it. And then you turn it back on. It takes the map. Bam. Your bike is now flashed with a canned map, a basic setup. Now you want to go further. And we did after we put the canned map in. You then open up in the SE tuner. It's a program, right? Program tune.
It's called Smart Tune.
Smart Tune. And the FP4 is an auto tune. They're both auto tuned. Leave it to Harley. It's like, you got to make their own name for shit. It's an auto tune. And basically you, go out, you want to ride like at least once, but up to three 30-minute sessions, different RPMs, different gears, different revs, different everything. And both of these tuners are going to raise your rev, your red line from 5,500 to 6,000. So you get extra rev out of it. Your red line will change, even though on your dash, you'll see that it stops. Your red line starts at 5,500. It'll go past that to 6,000 and you run out. And then when you get done, you come back and it walks you through it. You accept the map. You can save your rides. You basically record it. There's little cells on both of them, and it basically different RPMs, different ranges. It fills the cells. You try to get as many, it's green on both of them, and you try to fill as many cells as you can and fill them green. And then once you do that and you're happy with your map, bam, you come back. It's the same kind of process. It asks you if you want to accept it. You hit yes, you program it, and you program your ECM, and it definitely makes a difference. From the CAN map to the auto tune, those bikes are running even better. Understand when you first go out, your bike may run a little crappy in auto tune, and that's because it's auto tuning and it's trying to figure things out. And so don't get worried. Just ride it for a little bit and you'll feel it. You'll feel it as it,
smooths out a little bit,
smooths out and tunes it and all that kind of stuff. And then you accept it. You're like, yeah, I like that map, and you accept it, and you really never have to look back. Now, these auto tuners, both of them, obviously, once you do that, you can literally unplug it and throw it on the workbench if you want. I leave mine in. The reason is, why? They're small. You don't see them. They're under your left side cover, and you never lose it. And the beautiful part is they both have real-time data. Mm-hmm. You can throw it up in a biker gripper cell phone mount right on your handlebars, our awesome cell phone mount, obviously. That's what I did, through the phone and the old biker gripper, and started, you can put gauges, and you can customize the gauges on both apps. You want to look at throttle position sensor, you want to look at RPMs, you want to look at vehicle, the engine heat. There's a plethora of options. You can set up the gauges how you want, and so you can go down the road and see real-time data. Both of these tuners, you can also clear trouble codes. So DTCs, diagnostic trouble codes, you can look, see what codes it's throwing. We threw a bunch. Just because we were unplugging, we did lights, we did all kinds of stuff to the bike. You're going to throw codes, and then we just able to clear those codes right out of the ECM. So very similar in that way. The nice thing about Vance, you're going to get no help from Harley. With Vance and Hines, if you do have a problem with the map or a cam, they can still, if it's EPA compliant, you can still basically within the app, you can run and record a tune and record your bike. And then like Popeye did with the new cam we put in, and then you send it to them. They look at it, they make a tune for it. They send a can or a map back to you, and then you just plug that into your ECM. So Vance and Hines, you're going to get a lot more support. Obviously Harley, we never get support from Harley for anything. And I will tell you that, to just keep moving, Lurch, do you want to talk at all, or you got anything to clean up there?
No.
Here's the deal. I'm just going to throw this out there, and I'm not telling you this to sell you an FP4. Go get the tuner, Screamin Eagle tuner if you want. You're going to be pissed. Here's why.
The tuner itself seems to be fine, but the app is garbage. Yep. It's glitchy as hell. The FP3 or FP4 app is essentially the same as the FP3. It's been around forever. They've got all the bugs worked out of the thing. It just works well. And maybe this app for the SE tuner will get better in time, but right now it's the app itself is
garbage.
Trash.
And we'll say
glitchy.
Maybe it's going to get better in time.
Maybe.
I doubt it. Here's why. We went to reviews on we were actually curious. So we had a bunch of problems we're going to just quickly run through. We had a bunch of problems with it, and it got actually very frustrating because the FP4s, the fuel Vance and Hines stuff just works so seamlessly. We've never had a glitch, which is weird because usually you get some glitch with software once in a while. Never a glitch. The Screamin Eagle tuner, we went back to reviews on the App Store of the app, which people are basically reviewing the app and the tuner itself. But if you don't have a good app, then the tuner's shit. And that's what happened here. And we went back all the way to early 2023. After we experienced what I'm about to tell you, everybody was saying the same stuff and how it was shit. It got a 2-star review in the App Store, and people were like, literally, it's junk. People are pissed. And the problem is you can't return them because they're electronic units, and it's really the app that's effing up. Yeah.
And here's a review that was the most recent from August 28th. 1 star, says, don't waste your money or time. Absolute crap. Don't waste your time nor your money on this junk for an app. Freezes up, locks up, will not save a recording for Smart Tune, and shuts completely down in the middle of recording a tune. Downloaded it and uninstalled it 4 times as per the dealership's instructions because there's not a single fix for any of the problems.
Yep. That's so stupid because it's not even a dealership issue. And I know guys go to the dealership, but it's a developer problem. It's Harley-Davidson's own software developers that will have to fix that stuff. A dealership can't do anything for you. Uninstall it, install it. Yeah, that works. I've done that with some other apps in the past. We tried that. I'm just going to run down. I don't want to get too in the weeds on this. Here's the issue. We tried to auto-tune and we did make one mistake, but we fixed it and it still had a lot of issues. So the issue was basically we auto-tuned and then we tried to accept the map and it basically kicked me out before I could get it uploaded. And the thing is, even if you make a mistake, that's fine. You've recorded the auto-tune. There's a huge recorded ride button. It literally, we hit it over, we turned phones off, we reinstalled apps. It would not let us go into our recorded ride and see, because once you go into your recorded rides, then you can just accept that and put it into your ECM. You should always be able to do that. You can do that on the FP4. You're supposed to be able to do that on this app because the button's there and we couldn't get back into it. We did a roundabout thing. We knew it was in there because it popped up at one point. I can just go through. It was so frustrating. So then we had to basically go out and do a whole nother auto-tune half-hour ride. And then we basically left the bike on. Anyways, the video is going to show you how to do this properly. It may not or may work, which we're going to get into, like we say. But we got it to work. I shouldn't have to get this to work. I didn't think we were going to get the auto-tune in. Matt didn't either. Did you, Lurch? We were about ready to give up.
We did a shorter one just to try and get one into it.
Right.
And then when you went to select, then the previous one showed up.
Right.
But you couldn't get to it by hitting the rides, the saved rides. That button didn't work. You had to basically create another one, go through the whole process again.
Right.
And then when you went to select which one you wanted to upload, that old one that we could not access was there. So we a workaround.
Right.
But you shouldn't have to do that. You should just be able to hit recorded rides and select the one you want.
That's the way it's supposed to work. Mm-hmm. That's how the FP4 works all the time. The last one, I pulled off the pad. I did 2 bar lock turns in the cul-de-sac and I came back. There's my auto-tune. Because what we were trying to do is get back into a position where we could find that it was a badass auto-tune I did. I filled so many cells. And so we finally, through trial and error and glitches, I'm never touching it again, I don't think.
No.
I freaking got my original auto-tune map to come up and I selected that and we flashed the ECM and the bike's running like a raped ape. And so some of the other issues. So here's the deal. Lurch's phone, which is updated software, updated everything, guys. These are iPhones. No problem. It's obviously a software issue within the apps. And the next day, there was other glitches too within those apps, glitchy stuff. And it's just not obviously Harley-Davidson trying to make software and they just haven't been in the game long enough. And just Harley, we know that from the boombox. They're just not good software developers. They're a motorcycle company. Vance and Hines has obviously refined this and they've been around for so long. I mean, it's their bread and butter. So from a third-party company, you're just going to get better, which is why I don't buy Screamin Eagle stuff. Usually I buy third-party stuff. Oftentimes it's better and less expensive. So the next day, I still had to tune the other bike. And so I went to work and we'll talk about phone. Oh, the other issue me and Lurch ran into is basically the way it is, you're supposed to be able to unpair your phone. So Lurch, we used his phone because I needed his phone for the video. Long story short, I needed to use his phone because we were filming. I was using my phone for something else. And we literally took my bike. We tried to the second bike, my partner's bike that we were working on. We tried to unpair his phone. You basically go into the app. You've opened up they call it a BCI. It's a Bluetooth connection interface. And that's the actual, the unit, the tuner, and everything's stored in there. So the maps, everything, nothing's stored on your phone. Once you close it and you flash it, the maps, everything's on that tuner. You're just using your phone as an interface. We're supposed to be able to unpair that phone, and we hit unpair and it said it was unpaired. And we even testing this, we were getting so frustrated, we actually turned Lurch's phone off. I tried to pair mine, and every time it said that another phone was still paired with it, and it wouldn't let me use my phone. So that is not the way it's supposed to work, guys. You should be able to unpair your phone and then pair another phone. That's how the FP4 works. You don't get stuck on one phone. It literally would not unpair. It's still in its brains even though Lurch's phone was off within the street tuner, it was still telling us that it was paired. It will not unpair.
I unpaired it in the app. I deleted the app. I turned off my phone.
Turned Bluetooth off.
Just still wouldn't take.
Which means it's stuck in the brains.
Yeah.
Which tells us that it's stuck. The app didn't talk to it well enough to unpair it, and it's stuck in there. We don't know how long that's going to last. We don't know if it's ever going to unpair. So Lurch on his phone has my bike, or my partner's bike. No, my bike. It was my bike. My partner's bike is on my phone.
Yep.
So my partner's bike is forever right now, unless they fix this. I do need to try it. I didn't have time on another bike. I'm going to try to unpair my phone and then pair my partner's phone and see if it'll work. But nonetheless, that's frustrating. It's just, this doesn't happen on the FP4, which is, again, for $9 more, you're getting such a more refined product that can do so much more. But anyways, the next day, my partner's bike, I took it out to auto tune it. It's paired to my phone. I actually could get into recorded rides, auto tunes, which is interesting. So it just decided that I could get into recorded rides. However, I experienced different glitches. And that was while I was running an auto tune session, it kept popping up, automatically trying to save my auto tune. Like I hit stop. You're recording, and it literally told me, do you want to save this auto tune?
I saw that in some of the reviews as well.
Yeah.
Some of the people complaining to that.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's so we're not just experienced. That's good that other people are too. We wanted to validate, like, are we just idiots? And so like Lurch says, other people were saying this. And so it would pop up that it wanted to auto save that, or it'll save that. And then it would ask me, to name it. And I was like, and then there's another option like delete this recording and keep going. Well, it kept doing that. And eventually after 5 minutes, then I did it and I said, delete this recording, but I don't want to delete the tune. And it wiped all my cells. So I basically had to start all over, and that thing kept popping up a couple times, and then it eventually stopped and it let me run an entire auto tune session. Long story short, I was able to accept it and get it in that bike. And honestly, we're never changing anything on these police bikes. I'm done. I'm going to smash a phone, or I'm going to smash the tuner, one of the two. And they're auto-tuned and they run great. And I'm done dealing with the Screamin Eagle tuner and all of its glitches and the app. And I will just use FP4. We were only using the Screamin Eagle stuff because of these police bikes, and that's what they wanted. But that's what we do for you guys. And I'm glad we got it because we got to actually test it. I'll say this about the Screamin Eagle tuner. As of date, it accepted the CAN map easy. There was no glitches. The standard, but it's where we tried to auto tune in the recorded rides and getting into everything else is where all the glitches happen. Now, next week, if they update software, that could be completely different. The CAN maps could have glitches and the auto tune runs smoothly. I don't know. Although if you can't get the CAN map, you're not getting to the auto tune. So I didn't want to get too crazy here, but frustrated, both of us frustrated.
Absolutely.
And it took way more time than it should have. We were trying to stay on track. But we did a lot of this after hours, on our own time, obviously, because I wanted to really, really test it and I wanted to film it, for you guys. So we just did a lot of outside of hours. I just wanted to go above and beyond and get information out for you guys. So there you go. That is the Screamin Eagle tuner. Make a good decision. No matter how Harley centric you are, and it's got to be all Harley parts. That's definitely, maybe if you like the pipes and the intake, get those, but then tune it with the FP4 is what I would tell you. It's got the same HD maps in there that we use. So anyways, and you've got support. Vance and Hines, that's one thing, that company, they will support you. And via emails and whatnot, because they stand by their products. And again, that's a company that's making just exhaust and tuners, where Harley's making everything. Obviously, they're trying to compete. So yeah, Lurch, what else? Anything else on the tuner or that process before we get into the filler panel lights?
No, I think you covered that one very well.
You take this over. I've been talking too much.
So the back of those bikes do not have a whole lot of lights on them, really. I mean, you got the one brake lights, it's fairly small, and you got a couple turn signals that are small. So
on what bikes?
On your Electra Glides, your police Electra Glides, but not
or
just,
the standard, yeah,
or the standards. The specials, any
ultras,
any of them. The ultras have a little bit more because they've got the lights, some of the lights up in the pack. But even then, it's just not enough. You want to get a lot of attention with people coming up behind you. And so you were able to talk with the folks down there at the PD, and they agreed to add some filler panel lights. So on the police Electra Glides, or Electra Glides in general, they've got, they don't have, the space between the fender and the saddlebags is open. It doesn't have a trim piece in there that some of the bikes do, like the specials, the Road Glide, Street Glide specials. So there's just an open space there.
It's a big ass ugly cutout.
Yeah,
and I don't know why Hardy still does it, but it's a great place.
It's a great place to put some lights. So Ciro makes what they call panel filler lights. What an easy thing to do, especially on like the Electric Glides with that opening there. Is these lights just bolt on, two screws, bolt them on, and then run the wire up under the seat, and use a splitter on the brake line there. Super easy. Just split it and plug it in. Now you got some extra lights. And it makes a huge difference. These LED Ciro panel lights not only function as brake lights, but they also function as turn signals. So it adds a lot of light to the back of your bike. You can get them in chrome, black. They have clear lenses, red lenses. We have models that have an amber turn signal in them versus just the red. So if you're going to do something that's easy to put on the back of your bike and get some attention and improve your safety, it's a way to go. And we've got them in the law-abiding biker store.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lurch has got them all in stock for you guys. So get a Ciro filler panel lights. And it just, even if they didn't have lights, just the fact that you can fill those nasty voids is just, I don't know why it still looks like that. Now, we also have them you still can get them for the Street Glide. Now, the Street Glides and Road Glide specials, like Lurch said, have nice panels in there that cover that whole gap. But we have a different version for those bikes, and we have put them on before. We actually have a video on it. Mm-hmm. But they basically stick on instead of fill. There's no void.
Right.
So they just stick on that panel. So you still got they look great on Street Glide specials and Road Glide specials too.
What I like about on this, your police Electric Glide is the bike's chrome, and you have the option of black or chrome filler panel lights. Your agency went with black, but your bikes are black and white. So it really looks good. It really fills it in between the fender and your saddlebag. So you could go with chrome or black. If you have chrome on your bike and you don't have a black bike, you might want to go with chrome because then it would look better. But if you've got a black bike, the chrome or the black look really good on the back.
Right.
It really fills in that void there and makes it look nice. So not only does it make it look nice, it also functions and gets tension of those cagers behind you.
Yep, well said. Ciro filler panel filler lights, guys, in the law-abiding biker store. We will be doing a video on it. We've already got a video out. It's just older, but the information's the same. We just try to do refreshes on videos, so we will be doing a refresh video on this at some point. But again, just go to the website. You can use our search bar. It's very good, Ciro filler panel lights, or you can go to the YouTube channel, find the search bar there. It will pop right up, and it shows you exactly how to install them. Plug and play. What a great product. And obviously, we love Ciro. They've been longtime sponsors of the show, taking care of us there. And that's why we sell their products right in the Law-Abiding Biker store. Reminder, Ciro's the one product. We don't list every single product in our store for them right now. We do a lot of the hot ticket items that we've used and sell and recommend. We recommend all their stuff. But if you want to support us, we really appreciate it. If you see something on Ciro's site that you're like, oh, I want to get that from Law-Abiding Biker because I want to support them, and I like their videos and what they do to help us install this stuff, you still can support us. Just hit us up. Go to the lawabidingbiker.com/store and just hit our contact form and tell us the part numbers and product description and what you want to order directly from their site. And we can order it for you and ship it to you. And we get, obviously, we make some coin off that, help support us. So we can get anything for you, Ciro. So we've had some members do that and just some of our general audience. And we know it's just a little bit extra work for you, but it means so much to us. And we want to continue to grow and help bikers. And we are true bikers. And so hit us up, email us, and we will definitely create a custom order for you. And right online, it'll email it to you, you pay it, and then we get your stuff to you guys. So love the Ciro stuff very, very much. So that said, overall, it was a good project, and I am really looking forward. My bike's not quite ready yet. Of course, I've ridden it. I auto-tuned it and all that kind of stuff, but I can't wait till it gets the stuff in it, and I can ride it.
And
more on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To get it, and I want to get it out on the course. I've done bar lock turns and figure eights, but haven't really had it on. I have not had it on our qualification course, and really spent time, because it does feel different.
Sure.
It's a 23. My current's an 18 Electra. It's funny how just not a huge amount of changes, but little changes. One more mention real quick. Let's do this. And then I actually have some news that will actually interest a lot of you that I want to confirm. So let's do this. Now, we love our patron members. We want to get to know you better in the private Facebook group. We want to give you benefits, the plethora of benefits we get. But hey, for whatever reason, the only way you want to support us is through a flat donation. We never balk at a flat donation. We appreciate it so much. These three people we want to thank.
We'd like to thank Paul Potter of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Kevin Gundy of Amityville, New York, and Susan Malloy of Indianola, Indiana.
Thank you so much. lawabidingbiker.com/donate. If you want to leave us a flat donation like those folks did, we appreciate it so very much. Helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank,
so we can keep this thing running on down the road.
And if you forget that URL, the donate button, it's huge. It's right on our homepage. So the announcement I want to make. So you all know I'm not going to go down this road. I've said it a lot. I'm just going to tell you this. The hydraulic clutch system is a better system than cable. And I've talked about it why, as an instructor and a daily motorcycle officer that rides these bikes every day, I can tell you emphatically that the clutch hydraulic is better in so many ways. Now, with that said, the new bikes, 21 and newer, Hardy switched back to cable. We all know that. However, our police bikes are 23s, and I can confirm this because I've ridden it. We had the dealership do this. We got them in, and we had them switch the cable clutch system out for the hydraulic system, even though they come stock with cable. So our new police bikes have hydraulic clutches, and they're 23 models, all OEM parts. So you can literally part this out because they have all the stuff, because the 23 bikes are the same as the, as far as that goes. So they have all the parts, and you can switch out, and you can make at the time of purchase, or you can do it yourself. We hope to do one of these bikes eventually ourselves and switch it out. But this one was done by a dealership just because they were police bikes and they came in. It was part of the deal. But they switched them out, and they're operating perfectly. And it's no different than like my 14. Or my 18 police bike. It's a wonderful hydraulic system, works great, and love it. So it can be done. So talk to your dealership if that's something you want to do. And we are going to I got to get a hold, it's on my to-do list, the dealership that did them, and get a complete parts list from it, because they actually screwed it up. One thing, there's a switch internal that you have to switch. And so they weren't aware of it because they haven't done a lot of these. And basically out of the box, when I picked up our bikes, I noticed it right away. I was the first one to notice. I said, the bike doesn't die when it's in gear and you put the kickstand down. The gear selector indicator is not there, and our cruise control wasn't working. So there were some things, and I said, and what they found out is, they switched all the mechanical components. They forgot to switch something in the actual control clusters, and how that hydraulic clutch system talks to the bike. They fixed it, they put it in, and so they're all working great now. But I would do to help you guys and do an article, or at least have that if you guys need it, because I know other police agencies are going to want to do this too. And a lot of just riders like me, there's so many people that want the hydraulics back. And we'll have a parts list to share with you, so you can go to your dealership and say, this is all the parts we need, and get her done. Or we're going to get me all the parts and I'm going to get her done. So yeah, very good. Anything in closing, Lurch?
No.
Okay, great episode. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully that's just a lot of information, guys. We were going to do a separate on the FP tuner. I think we kind of toyed with that, but I think
it was good that we did it all.
We'll just have to remember, guys that ask questions, to point them to this Screamin Eagle. We'll have to title it with Screamin Eagle versus FP4 or something like that. Yeah. So it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. However we title this, make sure the Screamin Eagle tuner versus the Fuel Pack 4 conversation, warranties, whatever. Yeah, there you go, guys. We really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to get your fresh breasts, ladies. Fresh breasts. lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-breasts. And make sure if you're going to motorboat the fresh breasts, you better damn well have some fresh balls, guys. Don't be going in and she's all fresh and you're not. lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-balls. We do use it. We have tested it. And, when you're riding, getting those sweaty balls, you got to get rid of the sweaty balls. There you go. We did put new windshields on the bikes, guys. The police bikes, and I would highly recommend a F4 Customs from our store. It's what I run on my Street Glide. We've also got Clockworks, all in the Law Abiding Biker store, of course. And you can get your windshields, lots of different models. But for the police bikes, the look, I would definitely go with an F4 Customs from our store. It's just like the one on my Street Glide Special. Love that windshield. Great company, very affordable, very down-to-earth company. And I've been selling their stuff for a long time, so don't forget, we've got all those, so much in the Law Abiding Biker store, and we're continuing to add products as we speak. We got the new building, and we've got more room, and we've got room to grow. And with your guys' continued support, we're going to be able to continue to grow. And by shopping in our store, we don't carry everything, but what we do carry, we back, and it's stuff we use. And continue to shop over there. Check, you'll find new stuff, and we try to announce a lot of it. Well, we do videos, and of course, we try to announce a lot of it right here on the podcast. We're gonna have to get rid of this. Rate us in iTunes or any other app you're using, because Stitcher Radio is dead.
Kaput.
They died about a month ago, officially dead in the water. But so /iTunes, of course, lawabidingbiker.com /iTunes. I'm deleting this as we speak. It's one of our old bullets here. In our app, iTunes is the biggest thing, or, if you're using Android, whatever app you're using there, it really helps us bump us up in the rankings so more bikers around the world can find us and join this thing we call the Biker Revolution. Yeah, buddy.